Every day you and I get bombarded with negative news. Just like the body becomes what we eat, the mind becomes what we're putting in. It is important to listen to stories that not only gives you hope, but also inspires you and uplifts you. In this podcast, we're interviewing experts who will break down the solutions to the world's most pressing problems. And I promise you, if you listen to this podcast, you will not only stay informed, but you will also feel more energy in your life. Welcome to Great.com Talks with. Hi, and welcome to today's Great.com Talks with. And today we're talking about the environment. And we have invited an organization called Time. This is My Earth. Time is a non-profit environmental organization that is basically buying land to protect it. And in this episode, we're gonna talk to the founder of Time, why he's gonna help us understand why it's an important and smart idea to conserve land to protect it. And Uri Shanas, who are our guest here today, he's a professor in zoology. That's the
zoology, yeah.
Zoology, right? And conservation biology. So Uri, the tropical rainforests are disappearing quite fast. Do you have any numbers of how fast it goes? That will be my first question here. And also welcome to today's episode. Uri.
Thank you. I'm really glad to be here with you. And yes, I think we are talking now about maybe the two great challenges of the human race today and of the earth in general. The two really great challenges are the global warming and the species extinctions. And tropical forest and forest in general in the world, they're disappearing in a rate of something like the size of a football field every second. This is almost an unbelievable rate. If you think about a football field now, if you can imagine now in your head a football field, and this is the size of the forest that disappears every second, and it is an alarming rate. So I think I think these are the two main challenges, and disappearing forests are actually are a problem for these two great challenges, right? For species extinction, that's almost obvious, but also the forests, they store carbon, and when they disappear, they release carbon to the atmosphere. So this is the reason why we need to actually go and protect these forests.
Have you seen an increase or decrease or a change in the rate that the rainforests are disappearing from over the years? Is there
So it goes ups and downs. It depends. It really depends. And unfortunately, there was a decrease some years ago, and now there's an increase again. So in some years you see a decrease, but recently we have a really horrible and alarming increase in rainforest disappearance. Yeah.
So we're starting this interview in this direction because that's at least a part of the why. Okay, the rainforests are disappearing, and Time is an organization that kind of buys land to protect it. Could you tell us the general idea of Time? This is My Earth, because you
right.
were part of founding this organization, right? So tell us the background.
Yeah, when I started to teach started to teach conservation at the university, I actually became aware of the rate of extinction and the rate of rainforests and other lands disappearing around the world. And I started to think, okay, it's nice that I teach my students, and my students, they receive knowledge and they become aware of what's going on. But I felt to myself that this is not enough. This is not enough just to teach, and it's not enough to make them aware of what's going on around the world. And I thought to myself, what would be the greatest idea that I could do, and that somebody needs, has to do it, or it's possible to do it. And I thought it would be nice, you know, if we could just go and maybe purchase all these places around the world and save them. And then I realized, okay, but it would be impossible to go and buy all the land in the world, right? So let's prioritize. But I knew already from a paper that came out in Nature in the year 2000 that people already prioritize the lands around the world, and they call the places that have high priority, they call it biodiversity hotspots. Now, biodiversity hotspots are places around the world where there's where there are lots of or there's a high percentage of animal and plants that are endangered, and these places are also now under threat, under immediate threat. And organization and scientists already mapped these biodiversity hotspots to be something like 2.3% of the Earth land. So these 2.3% of the land are biodiversity hotspot where we need to focus our efforts. And then I realized that 50% of these biodiversity hotspots are actually in private lands. So I said, oh, wonderful. Let's go and buy them. Let's go and purchase them. Now, of course, with my salary, I cannot really go and buy them, but maybe if we can somehow get the people around the world to buy these lands. And this is also, I started to think about it before crowdfunding became very popular, but I didn't do too much with it. So years I start to play with the idea and start to think what would be the best or the ideal organization to build around that idea. And I thought, yes, I would like everybody in the world to become a member and to join and help us get the money and help us to buy these lands. So I said, okay, let's make it $1. Let's make it only $1. That means that every person or every kid around the world, every child, every adult could actually become part of that, can help to build this capacity to buy the lands. And I thought, and I was already involved in many organizations before that, and I thought, okay, I want an ideal organization. I want an organization that not only takes the money from the members, but actually really share responsibility and share and fully share the money that they receive from the people to do what it needed to be done, and that to purchase, in this case, purchase the lands. So I decided, okay, let's make that $1, that 100% of the dollar will go to actually land purchasing. That means that we take no overhead, and also that means that we need lots of volunteers. So it's it would be an organization that relies on volunteers to do the work. And then I thought I want more than money. I want more than money from the members. I want them to be involved. I want them to have equal share, equal responsibility. So I decided to give them a vote, to let them decide where they want us to go and purchase the land around the world. That means they have the same vote as I do, or other scientists or managers. Everybody has the same equal vote to decide where we purchase the land. And this is what we build. This is the idea of time. It's 100% based on volunteers, 100% your money go to where it needed, and it's democratic and equal.
Right. Thank you for the summary of the journey so far. When did you guys start this journey? How long have you been running?
So it was 2015. Yeah, 2015. We started to play with the idea. I mean, I started to play with the idea 10 years before that, but it took me time to actually, I tried to sell the idea to all kinds of organizations, international organizations, the UN. I met with UN people, but nobody, or people just disregarded it. And I mean, usually they didn't even reply to my request to meet, or they didn't even email me back. So eventually I decided in 2015, I should make it myself. I should build it myself. So in 2015, in the summer of 2015, I went into a crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo to actually build, to get funds from the public, so we will be able to build the infrastructure, to build the website and everything around it, just that we could start and suggest to the people to become members, to get their money, to get their votes, and everything that is needed to run this organization. And so I figured out that all I need is $25,000 just to build this organization. We went on an Indiegogo campaign for 2 months to get from the public $25,000, and eventually we got $35,000. So we said, oh wow, that's great, and we already have $10,000 to go to purchase land from the beginning. So eventually on January 2016, we uploaded the site for the first time, where we had 3 different places around the world where people can choose where they want to put their vote. And so we had one place, and in purpose, we had 3 different, completely different places. So one place was a savanna land in Kenya. One was a jungle in the upper Amazon in Peru, and one was a marine area in Belize. And we offered the people, just cast your vote depending on what you like better, or for other reasons, and add as much as you want. You can donate $1, you can donate $5,000, whatever you want, but the money will be split among the projects depending on the votes. That means you do not decide where your money go. You just become a member, whether $1 or more, and your money will be split around the project depending on the general public votes. So this is how we started.
Let me summarize to see if I follow here. So basically, you started to identify that there was 2.3% of the land's area that is called hotspots, extra important for biodiversity and the environment. Mm-hmm. And you saw that 50% of those are owned by private people, and said, okay, how about we buy out that land to make sure it doesn't get destroyed or exploited? Mm-hmm. And the idea is to include every person, every child, every adult should be able to take part by just donating $1, and 100% of that money will go to conserving the land. So it's no overheads in this, and it's yeah, that's so far what I take with me. And you started 2015, and you already did some project, right? You already bought some lands. What land have you already bought so far?
Yeah. So the first land was actually in Peru. In 2016, we managed to go and purchase that beautiful, amazing jungle piece in the upper Amazon in Peru, where there's a certain monkey there. There's a species of monkey there, yellow-tailed woolly monkey, that only 250 individuals in the world were left of this monkey. Imagine that, only 250 individuals. We managed to purchase a land that is part of the range that this monkey lives in. And we know there's a family of these monkeys there. I went to visit that place, amazing, amazing jungle. And we're very proud that already at the first year we managed, with the people, you know, with people around the world donating as much as they could, we managed to purchase that first land. And then on the second year, we managed to purchase another land, also in the upper Amazon, which was also very, very important land. And I want to mention here that it's also very important for us that the land will not belong to time. This is not our land. The land stays with the local people. So for example, in Peru, that first land that we purchased in Peru, we actually gave the money to two local farmers, Isidoro and Donatilla. And Isidoro and Donatilla now hold this land. We gave them a small parcel, a small part of the land to do their agriculture, to make a living. And Isidoro and Donatilla received from time a source of lifetime living, and we received the protection of all of the land. It's a wonderful win-win situation, and everything is guaranteed by legal agreements. We have a law firm that actually located in New York in Times Square. It's a law firm. It's quite a big law firm that gives us pro bono services, and they help us to actually manage all the legal agreements and everything that we need, and they're really making it's amazing that they give us this pro bono services. We are very, very proud of that. So that's also the idea. The idea here is that the land does not belong to time, but always will stay with local people or local organizations. And this law firm, which is actually, I should say the name, it's a Perel Cohen Tzedek Latzer Baratz law firm in New York that gives us these wonderful services. And on the third year, we managed to purchase a small part of an island off the shore of Belize that will help to protect much of the entire island. And because it was very pricey, we were able to only purchase a small part, but it was a very strategic part of the island that by purchasing that, it actually protect the entire area. And fourth year that we just finished the campaign, we are about to purchase land also in the forest in Colombia. So yes, we have like 4 successes so far.
Now, what comes to my mind is the question of, because I heard in Brazil, there's with the new president Bolsonaro, the illegal logging has been increased. And is that a threat for this piece of land, that even though you have the rights to it, could people still do illegal logging? Because I guess it's hard to protect anyway.
So this is one of the I think our strength of time is that we work with the local people. So for example, we received from, I gave you the example of Isidora and Donatilla in Peru. So they report to us if things happen, and they already, I know they chased away already loggers and hunters from the land, and they do protect the land. I failed to mention also that that Isidora and Donatilla work with the local local environmental organization, which is called NPC Peru. And NPC Peru, so not only Isidora and Donatilla are there by themselves, but there is also a local environmental organization that helps to protect that land. We recently purchased for this organization 2 drones to help them to manage the land. So you have the local farmers there on the ground helping to protect the land, helping to keep the loggers and hunters away. And then you have on top of that, or overseeing them, you have the local organization. And above the local organization, you have an international organization like Time that sees that everything is done correctly. So I think I feel very strong about this infrastructure that we built.
So basically, before it had at least no protection, now you're having people in different layers of protection and surveillance with the drones.
Right.
So it at least increases the likelihood that the people will not be able to take down these parts of the rainforest.
Right. And even more important is that we bring Time now to classes. We bring Time to the education system in Israel, and now in Israel, but hopefully soon it will be around the world. It's a great success where we bring the Time and we give the teachers and the students a platform to study biodiversity, to study geography, to study language and social sciences through our system. We have a wonderful curriculum that we offer to the teachers. So you have not only the organizations, but you have the kids around the world that looking to see what's happening to these lands and would like to see the reports and would like to, and they care. Now you have kids in elementary school that now care about this monkey in Peru, and they know that they already, they gave from their weekly allowance, they gave money to purchase this land, so now they care about it and they learn about it in class. And so for me, Time is even more than a regular environmental organization. It's an educational organization because we use it as an educational tool also.
I think that's what I really like about this, that people get to invest into the idea and then they get to vote. So as you say, when you get personal ownership of something, it's much more fun to learn in this. I really see the benefit of children being able to actually buy a share for $1, which is probably doable for most people.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that part of this, and how you're trying to tackle that problem of the big scale problem of the environment. So now we're running towards the end of this interview, and I want to ask you, it goes fast, right? I want to ask you, so people could participate with $1 donations and then they get to vote, right? Is that the democratical idea behind this.
Right. Right. Yeah. Certainly. Yeah.
Right.
And
so you would go to thisismyearth.org to make that first donation, and then you would get all the information on what different places, hotspots to vote for, right?
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And
This
we
is
mostly, and we mostly would like to see educators, teachers bring it into the class, because it's a great game. They can play with the class, and have them learn about the projects, and then make a class vote which project to vote for, and that it's really a great for the kids to learn about biodiversity and all the great challenges that we have in the world now.
Yeah, I can really see that. It makes it so much more fun to be a part of the solution.
Yeah.
Okay, the last question here before we leave. If there was one thing that you would like for more people to understand, I guess about the environment, the biosphere, the biodiversity, is there anything that you would like for more people to understand?
Yeah, I think we so far failed to get people to understand that biodiversity is actually, or saving the biodiversity, keeping the biodiversity is actually crucial for ourselves, for the mankind. It's crucial for our life. It's crucial for the world. And it is hard to explain it often, because it takes more than one sentence to explain it. But now with the corona pandemic, you could see what happened when you treat the earth wrongly, and you do things it's often surprising how fast it can be, and how fast things can go wrong. And this is what we're afraid. We don't always understand exactly, but we do know that keeping the world intact, keeping the biodiversity intact, is very, very important for the earth and for ourselves.